Hi, let's start on the lesson on mole concept. Empirical formula is the simplest ratio formula of the compound, right? Molecular formula will always be a multiple of the empirical formula because it's the exact thing, okay? This is what it means. If the entire line of 6 rectangles is the exact composition of your compound, which like C6H12O6 like that, if that's the whole thing, that's its molecular formula, that is its actual composition, then its lowest ratio will be the smallest unit that you can divide out equally in that whole molecular formula. Okay, its lowest ratio then, which means every single small rectangle is a CH2O. A fixed whole number multiple of your empirical formula will give you back your molecular formula. The only thing you don't know is the multiple. How many is the multiple? Is it times 3? Or is it 4 times bigger? Is it 5? Is it 6? In this case, it's quite clear. We have 6 rectangles down there. So what you have to do is you take empirical formula and you multiply it by 6. Okay, you multiply it by 6. So 6 times, everything is 6 times more. And then together what you get is your C6H12O6, which is your actual composition of the compound. To find how many times bigger, right, the molecular formula is compared with the empirical formula. So what do? We use its mass. We use the mass of the actual molecular formula and then we divide it by the mass of the empirical formula. And we find out exactly how many times one is bigger than the other one. That number of times bigger is equal to the value of n. And that value of n, when you insert it into the empirical formula, it will actually give you your molecular formula back here. Alright? In other words, if I were to talk about C6H12O6 just now, the value of n there is actually 6. CH2O is 12 plus 2 plus 16, which is 30. Alright, the molecular mass will need to be a random number given to you by the question. The other ones will tell you exactly, you know, the actual molecular formula, how much it weighs and what's its mass. So they will give you the 180. That one you cannot come up with it yourself. The question must apply you. And then you take 180 divided by the empirical mass and find out how many times bigger, which in this case is 6. Then you put in the 6 insert it into the empirical formula. So from CH2O, you insert 6 times in, like I showed you just now, it becomes C6H12O6, alright? So this is how we actually handle empirical and molecular formulas.